Hello, my lovey. Welcome to another episode of ZFG Living. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Glad you are here. And I want to talk about a generation, a subset of a generation, really, the S generation, Generation S. And these are the gorgeous, wonderful people who came of age during COVID, were affected deeply socially as well as work wise because they in their developmental phases, they just skipped having any interaction with people because of all the restrictions. And this is a unique challenge, right? But a lot of generations have missed out on different things. So I do think that the lessons they that were forced upon them can benefit all of us. And the thing is, when you get a crap hand of cards, there are some choices. First of all, recognize it's not your fault and it is your problem. So if anxiety, social anxiety, and it doesn't matter if it's diagnosed or not. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, guess what? It might be anxiety. So why not use the tools that have to do with whatever it is that matches what you're lacking to close that gap, right? Whether it is poor parenting, coming of age during a global trauma like COVID, or anything that makes you less than who you want to be, well, great. You've identified that there's something you'd like to change about yourself. You don't want to suffer every time you make eye contact with someone, let's say, right? But when you have gaps between your current self and who you aspire to be, that gorgeous future kick-ass you, well, you get to figure out how to close those gaps. And it's not fair. Life is not fair. It absolutely is not. And that's irrelevant because it is what it is. And the importance of these in person interactions for developing social skills, emotional intelligence, and self confidence, it cannot be overstated. So if you don't use a muscle, it atrophies. And socializing, even as cruel as the late teen years, early 20s can be, well, it's something that we crave. We're wired to want to socialize. Unless you're fringe of the bell curve, extreme introvert, you still have social needs, and they are needs that need to get met. It's not something you want to do. Some people want to socialize more than others, but you must. We are a planet of people. That's who we communicate with. Also other animals. But by not having that experience, it's a huge deficit and it sucks. It isn't fair. And you get to do something about it, right? I mean, those missed opportunities, they're gone. They're gone. For whether it was like social confidence building, athletics, whatever it is, the ship sailed. And we are where we are now with the need to learn how to do, whether it's like, I call it extracurricular, but that's not really what it is because you're not in high school anymore. But, are you going to join a pickup basketball league or a soccer or something that meets regularly? That's how you build the muscles back. That's how you find the self-confidence and develop the emotional intelligence and the social skills. The long-term effects on mental health, career prospects, and your very well-being, they are proven to have a negative effect when we don't socialize and we don't get along with people at work. And it's one thing to say, I get to be my authentic self, but we also get to be civil and not speak every thought that enters our head. We get to emotionally regulate ourselves. I can't guarantee that I'm not going to get triggered AF by something, but I can guarantee that I will harness my reaction into a response based on how I want to respond, not what my subconscious rampaging id wants me to lash out or, just quickly be, snappy or sarcastic or whatever unserving habit I had developed when I was younger and being raised by wolves. So gaps can be overcome with effort and strategies. There's a reason mantras work. There's a reason meditation works. It is the beautiful, loving, gorgeous repetition that we put into correcting those habits, the grooves that are in there. We have neural plasticity. We get to reorganize our brain, rebuild it, make it stronger. That's a little shout out to my old days, my peers. There was a show called $6 Million Man, but enough about my ADHD. So practical tips for building social skills and confidence. So put yourself in social situations, join a club, take a class, attend events, be around, go to places where other people are around you. It doesn't have to be super social. You can go to a dark sky event, where people bring telescopes and just watch for shooting stars and look at planets and what have you. And people are happy to let you look through their telescope there. And it's a very low bar for socializing because everyone's there to look at something. There's something to do. And that takes away a lot of anxiety when we have an activity. And another thing to practice is engaging in conversation. That includes listening. It includes watching body language, like how much do you buy what they are telling you? Whatever they're saying. Is it true? Is it something they're being forced to say by their superior at work, say, or something that they're reacting and repeating things that are just drilled into them? Do they live an examined life? Do you? What's that feel like? It's just an interesting perspective to be an observer in a conversation that you are in. And it's kind of freaking cool. And there's also, of course, mentors. You can read books, blogs, listen to podcasts. Hey, yo. All of those things will build self-awareness and become more reflective. These practices will, because you will reflect and take a moment to understand, why am I responding to this in this fashion? Interesting. Wow, that sounds just like my parent or my caregiver or a sibling or, someone who was impactful to you. It doesn't sound like my voice. Huh, I wonder how I internalize that. Be curious and open. And be honest with yourself. None of us are perfect. We can all bear improvement, right? It's not like oh, the box is checked. My personal development is done. No, you want to have a mindset of growth, meaning that you're a human being is not a static thing, right? I don't have like these skills, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and nothing's going to change. Well, no, like if I don't keep reading, my pace of reading will slow. But if I do read every day, well, then it's going to maintain itself. Maybe I'll get faster, and that's something that we choose. We get to choose. And for professional and career development, seek out informational interviews. There's something where you can go interview with a company just to find out more about that company. What's their jam? It puts you in front of someone. It gets you to talk about yourself in a way that is accurate and clear. And you're going to fumble the first few. And that's cool. That's okay. Reach out to podcast hosts. See if you can get them to interview you. Anything to get you talking about who you are, how you are as a person, what your views are, what you do for work, what your skills are, and recognize when you could improve your skills and seek that. Get an entry-level job. Yes, you have a degree. Yes, it sucks to work hourly wage or a low salary. And that's how we get more. We get started. And whether it's gradual or you're like jumping in and saying like, hey, I'll be an intern, I'll work for free. Get into the mix. And that is seriously stressful and important. and you can develop skills. There's online courses, there's certifications, there's websites that you can take free classes, or you can maybe pay a little bit to get the certification, or it'll prepare you to go take the certification test. All of those will help you, and you're building a network. And there's like the alumni group from your school, let's say, right? That you've got an immediate in, you both went to the same place. Was it different when they were there? Were you there at the same time? How did you, never come across each other? All of those things. You can go on LinkedIn and put in where you went to school and find other graduates and just send them a shout out. Work up to that. It's low stakes. You're just sending a message on LinkedIn. Maybe they only check it once every 6 months. That's fine. They'll get back to you eventually or not, but it's a game of numbers. You put out more than you think you should to get a response. It's just like making friends, finding a job, dating, all the things. Building relationships is a numbers game, and you will find your tribe, and you will get stronger at doing the reach outs to where it doesn't feel so weird or icky or there's no negative connotation to it. It's just like, oh, they look interesting. They went to my school. Cool. How you doing, fellow, whatever the mascot is? I don't really do sportsing, so I'm not really great with that. But anyway, so building your network, and then also leverage the benefits of being a digital native. And I want to get back to the growth mindset. Let's talk a bit more about that, shall we? The benefits of having a growth mindset mean that you know that you can learn, right? You can grow, you can learn, you can figure things out. And having that in your back pocket gives you a resilience and a feeling of self-reliance that is unimpeachable. It is integral to who you are. And you can bridge the gap if you feel that you get stressed or you back away from challenges by practicing it. It is uncomfortable, and that's okay. Everything doesn't have to be familiar, comfortable, endorphin producing. Some things are a little sticky, a little confusing. Like, you look at me having an anxiety attack over whatever technological thing I'm trying to figure out because like the button's grayed out. I can't make it go enter, and I take a breath. I do a little box breathing. I check in with my senses. I ground myself, right? Nobody's going to get a kidney based on whether I figure out how to post this reel or, upload this podcast or whatever it is that I'm working on. And othering yourself and talking to yourself is just lovely. Say with love. I mean, I tell myself all the time, Mel, you're doing great. You're okay. And this is okay. It is difficult. And that's okay. Boom. Immediately. My heart, I didn't feel like I was anxious, but my heart rate just lessened because I do it normally and I do it out loud so that I can hear myself. Our subconscious, it's like an egomaniac, just loves the sound of our own voice, loves to hear what we have to say. It feels good to make the sounds with our mouths, and lean into that and reprogram yourself. It's the old riddle. There are two wolves, love and hate, joy and fear. Which one thrives? The one you feed, my love. It's the one you feed. And so if you feed yourself anxiety, you're going to grow more anxious, more stressed, and less effective. Whatever it is you're trying to do, whether you're trying to chill and hang out, just enjoy a funny video or inspirational something, or, just zone. Be in the moment. You can do this. You can do this. Please remember to review, like, follow, subscribe, all the things, and let me know what's on your mind. I would love to address it in a future podcast, and keep on promoting that resilience, that grit, that gorgeous strength of yours. Hugs, 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 my lovey.